The Kingdom of Kush was an ancient Nubian state located in what is now the Republic of Sudan. Kush emerged following the Bronze Age collapse and disintegration of the New Kingdom of Egypt. It was centered at Napata in its early years. After King Kashta conquered Egypt in 8th century BC, the Kushite kings ruled as pharaohs of the 25th dynasty of Egypt for a century. During the classical antiquity, the Nubian capital was at Meroe. The Meroitic kingdom survived until the 4th century AD when the Ethiopian kingdom of Axum conquered the Kushites. The term Nubian Pyramid is used to describe any pyramids constructed by the rulers of the Kush. Prior to the Kushites building these pyramids, which are located in modern-day Sudan, no pyramid construction had occurred in Egypt or the Nile Valley for over half a millennium. The area known as Nubia served as home to 3 Kushite kingdoms. The first had its capital located at Kerma. The second capital existed at Napata, and finally the last kingdom was centered around Meroe. Kerma was Nubia's first centralized state with its own indigenous forms of architecture and burial customs. The last 2 kingdoms, Napata and Meroe, were heavily influenced by ancient Egypt. Approximately 220 pyramids were eventually constructed at 3 sites in Nubia over a period of a few hundred years to serve as tombs for the kings and queens of Napata and Meroe. The first of these pyramids were built at the site of El Kuru. 14 pyramids were constructed for their queens. This can be compared to approximately 120 much larger pyramids that were constructed in ancient Egypt over a period of 3,000 years. Later Napatan pyramids were located at Nuri, on the west bank of the Nile in Upper Nubia. This site was the final resting place of 21 kings and 52 queens. The kings were placed in huge granite sarcophagi weighing several tons. The oldest and largest pyramid at Nuri is that of Napatan king and 25th dynasty pharaoh Taharqa. The largest Nubian pyramid site is at Meroe, located between the 5th and 6th cataracts of the Nile. More than 40 kings and queens were laid to rest there. The physical proportions of Nubian pyramids differed greatly from their Egyptian counterparts. They were built of stepped courses of horizontally positioned stone blocks and ranged from approximately 6 to 30 meters in height, but rise from fairly small foundation footprints that rarely exceed 8 meters in width, resulting in tall, narrow structures inclined at approximately 70 degrees. Many Nubian pyramids also had adjoined offering temples with architectural characteristics unique to the Kushites. On the other hand, Egyptian pyramids of similar height generally had foundations that were at least 5 times larger and were inclined at angles of between 40 and 50 degrees. While most have been plundered throughout history, some Nubian pyramids were found and contained several items such as pottery and colored glass, attesting to extensive trade with Egypt and the Hellenistic world. The ancient pyramids of the Kushites and Egyptians have fascinated archaeologists for centuries. Further exploration and investigation of these sites will surely provide even more insight into these ancient civilizations.